Hey you guys, I'm back. I'm really anxious to show you guys what's growing, what's dying or dead, and something really big that has fallen down in the patio. But first, let me just show you guys what's thriving here. To my surprise, these loofahs have gotten so huge. I was really not expecting this to happen because it was early November when I left. I can't believe they continue to get bigger, and even the smaller ones have gotten big. It hasn't gotten too cold yet. The lowest temp here has been, I think, 42 degrees, I think, for like 1 or 2 nights. But yeah, I'm really happy to see that the leaves and everything on this plant is thriving. I'm so thankful. This is a nice, good size one. Ended up not getting as big as this bag, but this one did. This one would have been much longer if I was around to loosen up the bag, but it got so big it ended up folding and kind of just, cramming itself in this this baggie. So when I got back, I quickly loosened up the top and just create a little more space for this the loofah. They're getting hard enough. I probably should be okay removing these bags. They were for deterring or protecting them from the mice. And then, oh, this one is actually still a little fuzzy and soft. This one's actually still edible if I want to. It bit through my bag. Oh my gosh. I know, I'm greedy. I got like quite a few loofahs growing right now, but I still want more. And I gotta save some of these seeds for you guys. Okay, let me show you the chayotes that are thriving. These chayotes, once upon a time, they were green when they were given to me. I planted it and it just stayed this cream color, just so beautiful, but also so spiky. They're just kind of cool. Cool to keep the genetics of this odd one growing. If you guys are interested, I'll also put it up in the website for you. When you harvest them younger or when they're smaller, they actually are very soft. They won't bother you at all. But these spikes do harden as the plant or as the squash gets big, like this one here. This is super spiky. You definitely do not want these to fall on you. It's like little durians. Like this chayote here is already sprouting, definitely ready to be put in a container or straight in the ground if you live in some place with mild winter. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be putting some of these on the website. I know some of you guys were interested in this particular chayote. All right, now let's show you guys the plants that are dying, that are ready for me to harvest. These are the yacones, the purple yacones. Still kind of going, but most of it is, well, not looking good. So yeah, pretty soon I will harvest these ones, but I am just gonna keep them growing right now since they're still green. There's a lack of sun in this garden, so I'm really utilizing as much time as I can for the plants to, for the tubers to bulk up. And then in the front here, this is turmeric. So turmeric, very much to be expected that they will die back, just like this one. This is the variegated variety. Ginger. Looks like I haven't been getting much water either. Actually, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, something that's kind of fun. We're gonna have bananas soon. I don't know what this variety is. My friend's dad gave it to me, said it's like the smaller bananas, but he said they're good. So I'm really excited. One of my viewers told me that if the banana flowers open during the winter, then they're going to take much longer to fruit. Whereas the flowers that bloom in, in the summer, in the spring, just during the warmer season, the fruits are going to set much quicker. You'll have bananas to eat much faster. Look at this galangal. I know it is kind of being more protected, being, you know, growing under the bananas and closer to the house, that it's a little warmer there, but it barely shows any signs of stress being in the winter, whereas the ginger I showed you earlier were, you know, they're finishing. Ashitaba has gone to seed.
And then about a month after filming this video, I actually started noticing that these little Ashitaba seeds started to sprout all over this spot. Usually it would occur like maybe a couple weeks after the rain. See, that one still got a little seed pod on it.
And then I was able to harvest a couple of the dragon fruits. I was so surprised to see the dragon fruits being so huge, just plump and round. Unfortunately, one of them has been completely eaten by the mice. And then the second one got started with that bite. I can't even wrap my hand around this thing to twist. Ugh. Ooh. This is my yam section. This thing is still massive and crazy. This is the purple ube, the yam. This is another type of yam. Okay, one of them looks like it's dying back, but the purple ube is doing really fantastic still. I have never seen my ubes growing so many of these little bulbs, these like air potato things. But then again, this is actually a really great spot for them. They were getting a lot of sun in this location, growing super lush this year. So probably the plant just got mature enough to actually set those little air potatoes. However, you know, when there's a pro, there's definitely a con to every situation. I guess depends on how you look at it. But in my case, growing over here has a lot of sun, but that also means it is shading off the other side. And that is why my sweet potatoes, I'm not expecting much at all out of this GreenStalk with the sweet potatoes. I didn't give it its full potential by putting it right next to the yam. So I think next year I'm going to move the yam in a different location, but definitely give them lots of sun. Okay, so we have seen things that are thriving, things that are dying or dead, and here is something that has fallen. Can you see that? I'll show you again. A little closer, okay? Once upon a time, this green tree collard was approximately like 13 feet tall, was leaning over quite a lot, a couple of times during the past 2 years with the storms in the winter. So it caused this main stem to split. And after the split, eventually I guess some bugs or something has been getting into it and basically sort of rotting it out. It became a really weak point. So it finally went and but you can see there are like these new growths of roots here that are growing. So this is a very hardy vegetable. So I've always wanted to know exactly how tall this green tree collard is, especially when it was really tall. It was just impossible for me to reach and measure. So I'm going to take the opportunity right now to measure now that it's more in my reach. And the bright side of this, even though it's a bit sad, you know, that it's got to go, but there's more. It'll grow again, and in the meantime I can enjoy having a brighter patio garden. Let's do the measuring. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. What? Are you serious? I can't believe that's 10 feet that fell down, or a little more than 10 feet actually. I thought it was gonna be like 5 or 6 feet. It's definitely more than 5 feet. Why did I think that was like 5 feet? I gotta take care of this mess today because the rain is coming tomorrow. Okay, let's clean up with me. Oh no, it's starting to rain, it's starting to sprinkle, oh my gosh. It's not supposed to do this right now. But I'm going to continue on and finish this up, you guys. The rain is coming sooner than expected. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me out here in the garden to check out this disaster. I will see you right back here in the next one. Bye.